Okay, we're here to set up the RealSimGear GTN750 and go to RealSimGear.com and click on Setup, and you can get to these guides for all of their products. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a touchscreen driver setup. So we need to download the pen mount touchscreen driver software right here. So we're just going to click on that. And it looks like it goes to a CDN, Shopify. So we're going to take that zip file, pen mount, and we'll extract that. And then we'll go to the pen mount Windows Universal Driver V2. And then we'll open that up and we'll just run setup. I'll run it as administrator just in case. Smart screen can't be reached right now. That's okay. Run. We trust them. And we go through the, of course, read every word of that agreement. Would you like to use touch as a mouse device? I'm assuming so. We better go back to the manual here. Hold on. So it says here, when asked, select the default option to use mouse pointer mode. Note you will need to restart your PC after the installation is complete. Okay. So we'll hit yes. Okay. Oh, it did a COM port. We'll hit finish. All right. So now the pen mount touchscreen driver is installed. So now we do need to restart the PC, so I'll go ahead and do that now. Okay, did a PC reboot after installing the driver, and you can see I'm back here on RealSimGear.com. And if you just come up here to the top and click on Setup, it'll take you to the setup guides. Now, your screen may have a white background. I have a plug-in called Dark Reader that changes the background to a darker background, so you may see white on your background instead. Click on Setup Guides, and again we're going to go down to the GTN 750 setup guide. So we have downloaded the pen mount touchscreen driver software, we've installed it, we've rebooted the PC. It now says to connect the USB cables, HDMI cable, and power cables to the GTN 750. So we'll do that now. Still trying to figure out if we have to install two USB cables or just one, because there's a port for it. But so this comes out of the GTN 750, as you can see on the back of here. It just is, there's no port, it's just the cable coming out. Alright, so we'll take that over to our USB hub. We'll take the power supply now. Lots of setup happening. Okay, we got the power supply and one USB cable plugged in. Now we're going to plug in the HDMI that goes into the back of the computer, into the video card. So we'll plug that into the side here. And that should make it another monitor for Windows. Now, as you can see here, it comes up vertical. So we need to obviously change the orientation. So I will do that by following the instructions here. Alright, so it says connect USB HDMI power cables, go into Windows display settings and make sure the GTN750 display is set to portrait flipped mode and that the multiple displays are configured to extend these displays. The GTN750 screen should now show the Windows desktop background. Okay, so we'll minimize, we'll drag this over for a moment, and then we'll just go here to display settings, and then we're going to click on identify. This is the third screen we're dealing with. I'm going to drag it down here just because that way it's I want to take the mouse down below. And then on that one, again, we want to come down here to orientation, and the instruction says portrait flipped. So we go portrait flipped, keep changes. Looks like it's doing a resolution of 600 by 800, and of course we're on extend display, so that looks good there. So we'll close that, and now you can see here on the GTN that it's the correct orientation. So that's cool. That's working so far. All right. Next would be open the pen mount driver. Or sorry, once the pen mount driver is installed, open pen and mount control panel application. So like I say, I type in pen mount control panel and it comes up automatically. We want to click on, if this says Windows protected your PC, just click on more info, and it's this DMC control.exe, run it anyway. There we go. The first step is to tell your PC which monitor is associated with the touchscreen. Click on the multiple monitors tab and then click on the map touchscreens button. Alright, multiple monitors, map touchscreen. Touch the screen. Oh, I did that wrong. Okay, so map touchscreen, it says please touch this monitor or skip. So we're going to skip that. Please touch this monitor, skip that, and then we're going to touch our touchscreen. So now we've mapped. I don't know what showed on the screen for you guys, but basically it walks you through to say this one is the one that will be touch. Okay, I'll hit OK on that. And complete the calibration process. So once you hit OK, apparently it takes it off. Okay, so there, and we click configure on the pen mount 6000 USB, and then it says click the standard calibration. Okay, standard calibration. Touch the red square. You have to hold it down, it looks like. Holding it. Holding it. So on the screen, it's telling me exactly what to do. It's saying touch down there, the box. And so then I hold on. But then it just stops, so I got to redo that. So standard calibration. Touch there and hold. Then lift off. Yeah, touch, hold, lift off, touch, hold, lift off, touch, hold, lift off. Calibration. Alright, so it just has you do the corners and then one in the middle, so that's not handy dandy. So we'll hit down here. When complete, click OK. Yep, that's all been done. Alright, Now we need to update the device firmware. Please check you have the latest firmware version installed by following the steps using the button below. You should only need to do this if you've received your GTN750 prior to February. So probably already have it installed. I'll hit OK on all of those. Just out of kicks and giggles, I will take a look at this possible update of the GTN750 firmware. Please note that you will also need to update your XPlane plugin to work correctly with the updated firmware version. The latest version of XPlane plugin can be downloaded using the button below. Alright. Looks like the latest version is 2.2. I guess it can't hurt to try to update the firmware. So we'll download the firmware. It is a hex file. Open the XLoader program, download the... Okay, so we're going to click here to download the XLoader program. We'll extract the xloader.zip file into its own directory. There's the XLoader. And it says here, open the hex uploader app and set Arduino type to Mega 2560. Alright, so we open up that program and it says to set to, again, Mega 2560. So we choose that. Okay, so maybe this extra cable is necessary for the firmware update. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in, into the computer and see how it does, because I was wondering why it had that extra USB port. So, and it's at the top. So I'll plug that in, and we'll just plug that in temporarily down here. I don't know if you'll need it. I'm running out of USB ports. Too many peripherals. Okay, so now I've got 2 USB cables plugged into the GTN750. Nothing changed. I didn't hear any sounds. I'm going to run the xloader.exe program again. There it is, COM4. Alright, so you can see here now we have COM4 listed. So I'm assuming if I close this and I unplug the top USB cable and I run xloader, oh, it still has COM4 there, but I bet you it won't work. Can't open port. Okay, so we'll close that. We'll plug this again into the top. You can see right up here the top white port, and then we will run xloader program again. We point it to the latest firmware, which it may already have it, and then we'll upload. 5,888 bytes uploaded. Okay, now we'll go back to the manual. Disconnect and reconnect the USB cable. I wonder if it means the main one. Here, hold on. Okay, so that is completed. All right, so I think that's all good now. So firmware is installed. So we'll go back to the GTN products, GTN750 setup guide. Alright, so we're going to use XPlane. So I've already downloaded the XPlane plugin. So I'll go and extract that. It's called RealSimGear plugin XPlane 11, and then it's got a lot of numbers and letters. .zip. We'll extract that. And it makes a folder. We'll open that. And there's the RealSimGear plugin. So we'll copy that. Take that over to our XPlane 11 resources plugins directory. And we'll paste in that. So that's next to the GNS plugin. Alright, that's completed. If you're not done so, download the Reality XP GTN750. Yep, we got that. Configure Reality XP to work with RealSim using the steps below. Okay, so follow the instructions in the Reality XP user guide for hiding the bezel. Essentially, you just need to go into the aircraft folder and edit the Reality XP GTN file and change the no bezel equals false to no bezel equals true. Okay, well that's good to know. So let me figure out what plane. So if I go into the C drive and I go to XPlane 11 aircraft GA, what's the first plane we should test this with? Kind of tempted to do the Cardinal since it had an update. So this 177 Cardinal, if we go into the Reality XP.GTN.ini file and we edit that, and then we do a search, Control F, search for bezel, and it says no bezel equals false. And according to this, we have to change that to no bezel equals true. So we change that to true, and we hit save. Okay. And then in here it says enable the option to use simulator GPS commands. Go into the settings into the Reality XP gauge, and under advanced select the option to use simulator GPS. Okay. Use simulator GPS commands. Alright, we're going to have to do that inside the sim. Should be easy. Okay, now we're inside of XPlane. I'm in the Cardinal 177 version 1.2 from Alabeo Carenado. And as you can see here, we got the GTN750 in the panel. And yeah. Make me a little bit smaller here. So again, back to the manual. Sorry, GTN setup guide. It says we did the we edited we edited the Reality ini file to say no bezel equals true, so that's good. So now we're at this point where we need to go into settings for the Reality XP gauge and go into settings and use simulator GPS commands. So if we come up here to plugin and we go to Reality and then we go to settings, it's a pop-out window, and we're supposed to scroll down to. All right, we have to go to advanced. All right, that's the issue. Lost my mouse there for a little bit, but once I clicked out, it got in there. All right, so use simulator GPS commands, and we'll hit accept, and I think that's it. There you go, both. Alternator on. Align the directional gyro. Just accept that. Yep. Yep. Now I'm going to pop that window out. Reality. Pop out window. There we go. And once we popped out that window by going into the reality command, we can then drag it down. Now we got the GTN750 on the touchscreen. So now, I wonder if, sure enough, I hit the direct to, and it comes up. Wow, it's all just, it's working. So I'm going to bring up the second camera so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so now we've got now we got the GTN on the second camera. I did lose a little bit of calibration with the touchscreen, so I just simply went back into the pen mount control panel, and I think this is because I've done some reboots and some Windows updates, etc. in between all of this, and so I think it lost the configuration. But again, under pen mount configure standard calibration, it was really easy to get it back and configured. So now if I zoom in to my GTN750 in my Cardinal, then I can click on map, and click on flight plan, and click on terrain, and click on procedure, select an approach, etc., etc. And then the direct to button works. Go in there, select a waypoint. I want to go to Kilo Sierra Lima Charlie. Enter. Oh, activate. It's only 3,255 miles away. Messages. And click on the transponder code and put in 5523. Just stay on, and once it gets airborne, it'll go to altitude reporting automatically. Well, it should. I can change the CDI from GPS to VLOC, so all that's via the touchscreen. So that is really handy. I'm loving this. Of course, if you're, let's say you're somewhere deep, you just want to return home quickly, you just click the home button up here, boom, takes you back to the home. That's really nice. Okay, so here's your knob. You can see up here it's changing the frequency. The outer knob changes the larger frequency, and then you can switch those two back and forth. I'm going to need to learn a little bit more about this, but so far so good with the GTN750. I think I'll probably do a flight with it. I loaded up at Midway just to test it, but we probably should put a real flight in there and give it a go. Well, hope that made some sense. We did have a few issues that were my fault, but the manual is really great and it's working. It didn't take that long to get it working either. So great product. Thank you, RealSimGear, again for sending the GTN750 my way. And again, we're giving away one of these on the twitch.tv/JohnFly channel on a live stream in the very, very near future. So stay tuned. Thanks.